feel like I'm at work, sitting on Zoom being recorded. I actually this is like my work Zoom account, so I had to like change my name, right? Because like in work, it's like my full legal name and like my title. I was like, I don't need people to know that.
Yeah, I didn't know you
Man,
could change it. Just my full name.
yeah, just in case there was any confusion about who you were.
Yeah,
um, man, so over 3 years since the last episode.
yeah, and my camera froze.
That's podcast. That's why I don't do 4K. It's too much. I like that it's me talking and then just it's for me on my side it's frozen and you're just like it actually almost looks like you're still here, that you're just not interested. So
God damn it. This happened last time. I recorded a couple flicks too.
interesting. Did it ever resolve itself or did you have to stop?
It eventually resolved itself.
Then fuck it, let's push through. Um how did we even start? The last time we recorded one, did we
There we
were we still using the copywritten theme song, and is that how we started the episode?
I think since we switched over to like being on Spotify and stuff, I changed it to some random video game beat.
Now that the person who produced the song that we used to use is basically retired, I don't know if you've caught up with that. Do you think it would matter anymore? Like,
Probably not.
or I guess the flip side is they're desperately in need of money and would absolutely sue for the like. How do you think they calculate copyright infringement when no one listens to it?
I don't know. Is he on an official label or anything? Probably not.
No. Have you been keeping up? I think we can say his name. It was MC Chris. And have you been keeping up with him lately?
A little bit. Like I saw he was doing a last tour and that kind of came out of nowhere.
I fell off around the time the pandemic started for sure, but uh it's real weird. I like had to unfollow everything. I was like, he has his own like problems, and then like him and his wife had problems and they got separated. They're separated, so he's like now a single dad battling like bipolar disorder or like dissociative identity disorder or something. And dude has like no money because what has he been doing lately? uh so
Yeah.
it's dude, it's real sad. It's real weird for somebody that we used to love, and it's just really depressing to see
Yeah.
it. So I just like unfollowed everything.
I just started to scroll past because it was the same shit all the time. It's like, ah, man, that sucks.
Anyways, unfollow. You're like, he was doing like auctions and stuff. And like back in the day, he used to auction like stuff that he'd sign and like, tour merch or whatever. But lately he's been auctioning like, I mean, I'm like, I feel like we're shitting on MC Chris right now, but he's been auctioning off like his kids' toys that he doesn't want anymore. And I'm like, who the fuck is going to pay for this? Like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
not me. So I think we can use his music again.
Might as
uh,
well. Let's see what happens.
Maybe him suing us or Spotify taking down this first episode that we've recorded in years will actually gain us some traction, and it'll force us to do another episode.
In a couple of years.
Couple of years. That's actually the podcast title now. It's a couple of years. um, yeah, man. Well, so actually, what really got me thinking about doing this again is if you go back and listen to the first, I don't know, 10, 15 episodes, maybe 10 episodes of a couple of dicks, we used to just talk about Game of Thrones every week.
Yep.
And now Game of Thrones is back with House of the Dragon. So I think we're back, right? Are we the worst Game of Thrones companion podcast ever?
Yeah, probably.
I think that should be the subtitle, the subtext for the episode title, or whatever the episode title is, and it's the worst Game of Thrones companion podcast because we only did it for 10 episodes.
Yeah, I don't think we covered anything after they failed the landing the last season.
Yeah. I think we pivoted away from like free form and we started to do more structured stuff, and that meant that we didn't want to structure our time around a show that was like collapsing on itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, we're gonna be stuck with this. Oh man, let's talk about something else. um Man, 3 years. That's actually probably the last time we've I mean, this I don't consider it seeing each other, but like I can't remember the last time that we saw each other in person. Was it your wedding?
I think so, yeah.
Holy cow, man. um Man, that's a long time actually.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, I still use those pint glasses that you gave us, the wedding gifts. I
Oh, nice.
still in my cabinet, man. They still look good as ever.
Still have a whole box of them.
I mean, I took two. I should have taken like five. Like, a good pint glass is hard to come by. Do you think for like your next like major anniversary milestone that you could just send them out to all of the friends and family that maybe don't have one? You're just like, I know you're supposed to give us a gift, but here's our gift to you, a pint glass for the
Yeah.
wedding that you didn't attend.
Yeah, or I know you put it at a thrift shop, so here's another one.
I would love to just go up to the one of the like listen centers or Goodwills in like rural New Hampshire. There's just a may the force be with you. Happy weddings, Zach and Meg.
I've
That would
seen
be
them, not ours, but I've seen other people's.
yeah.
It's like, oh,
It's like, oh my god. Maybe I'll try donating one and seeing if I can, like, when people like put the stamp on the dollar and then they pass the dollar around.
yeah.
They see how long it takes for the dollar to come back to them.
Put it up on Facebook Marketplace.
Just like if you really want, you could probably scratch the wedding stuff off and just leave the Star Wars stuff on.
There you go.
Should be charging people for those glasses. So what have y'all been up to? I mean, 3 years, no episode. There's so much to cover. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Well, I think last time we recorded, I was in Texas. Well, now you're in Texas and I'm in California.
I am. I'm in the heart of Texas. I guess Austin, but
It's the new place to go.
it's also the place where we're going to be leaving pretty soon because it's miserable here.
Yeah, government probably doesn't help either.
No, I mean, it's it's a like before we met, before I moved to New England, I lived in Texas, right? And it was shitty then. It was shitty as a 13-year-old, but I thought maybe as a 13-year-old, because you're limited in what you can do, I didn't have access to a car and there was nothing going on. And I thought maybe coming back, 15 years later would be better. No, it's worse. It's much worse. So we're leaving next year for sure, but it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, I was only there for a couple months, but like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's all the heat of all the other cool places in the country, but also like less everything else, if that makes sense, right? Like, I mean, if you want to get really into it, there's less bodily autonomy for women right now.
Yeah.
There's less access to basic infrastructure. It's so hot, and the demand for electricity in Texas is so high, specifically Austin, that they basically just do rolling blackouts where they tell you they're going to turn your power off for 2 hours.
Yeah, they do that in here in California. Luckily, we're on a military base, so that doesn't happen to us. But
You know, it's just crazy.
yeah,
It's fucked up. So that's it. The pandemic, we both survived.
yeah,
The earth is now literally melting because it's so hot. It's like every day somewhere in the world sets a new record for like, well, this is the hottest it's ever been in human history here. But and then the next day another location, it's like, well, this was the hottest it's ever been in this location.
yeah. It's been over 100 all week here for us.
Yeah.
Not enjoying it.
No, it's hot. There's like a water, like not a water ban, but like an excess water use ban. So like our rent, like our lease agreement says that we have to maintain the lawn, but I can't water the lawn. So our lawn is just like, dude, is like one cigarette ash from going up in flames. It's so dead and dry, dude. I'm every day I come home, I'm like 50% sure that the house is gonna burn down.
Yeah. Yeah, we have fires all around us, like almost every day during the summer. We're probably leaving in a couple months, actually. So
You guys think you're heading back east or
yeah, we're
north?
probably going back to Florida.
Man, you're skipping from the like the 4 or 5 hottest places in the country, man. You guys aren't doing yourselves any
I know,
favors.
but at least it rains in Florida.
It's true. It does rain. You're I was gonna say you're closer to major theme parks, but it's actually not true because you're already right there. So how far are you guys away from Disney and stuff?
Oh, that's actually like 7 hours. We're a little more mid California. Got a Six Flags like 2 hours. But
So that's the vibe. I mean, I wouldn't be at any outdoor theme park right now at all. You'd get on any roller coaster and you would just start fucking sizzling like bacon.
it's melting into the seat.
You get in and the seat is literally melted already. you
Yeah,
just like
it's
you just
just
get
other
sucked in.
people.
You get on like the Batman ride where it comes down over the top, right? You put the chest thing in, and it literally just like you get off in just a perfect sear on your chest, like from where the plastic was. You're like, cool. That was I stood in line for that.
Yep.
It's just a wild time. So that's why we brought the podcast back. It's a great way to talk about all the things that everyone that I talk to in real life has already heard me say a million times, and now I just want to put it out for all the other people to hear. But most importantly, the pandemic had reinvigorated my love for watching as many movies and playing as many games as humanly possible, and that still has carried on until now. Um, so this should be about all the things that we've done in the last couple of years. The best movies we've seen, the best shows we've watched, best games we've played, the stuff we're most looking forward to. That's
Yeah.
what this podcast is about.
Shit, we should have done this during the height of the pandemic.
I was too busy crying. So we were stuck in Mass at that point, and it was I would go to the grocery store and it would take me 5.5 hours to get my groceries. So I
Yeah.
was a little depressed. So and then I moved to a place where the pandemic basically didn't happen in their opinion. So
Yeah.
over the last couple of years, what's the so let's say the last episode we recorded, middle of 2019. If you had to distill the last 3.5 years or 3.25 years into the best movie that you've seen in the last 3 years,
Hmm.
what are you going with? Off the cuff, what is it?
I don't know. Probably. All right. Since it's so recent, everything everywhere all at once. That's, I don't know. I'd have to, let me check my letterbox.
Do you fill out your letterbox immediately after watching the movie, or do you wait?
Oh, immediately.
I have this problem where I watch the movie and I'll put it in my notes in my phone because I don't like writing my I don't like typing like a lot on my phone, right? It's just like not tactile. It doesn't work that well. I'd rather write on my computer. So I put it in my iPhone notes, like, and then the movies will back up. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna sit here and write 25 reviews on Letterboxd. So then I just give them star ratings and post them to my Instagram stories, which is what I could have done on my phone 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
uh,
I just do it immediately because then I watch so much shit that I forget a lot. That way I remember like, oh, that one was good.
did you give Everything Everywhere All at Once? I think I remember seeing the letterbox post. Did you give it 5 stars? Did you give
Yeah,
it 4.5, 5? Yeah,
5.
it was great. I saw it in theaters. I'm sure you did too.
Yeah.
Um, it was it was really good, and it was also very jarring to have two movies that specifically deal with the multiverse come out within like 3 weeks of each other,
Yeah.
and they were vastly different movies. um, and I think Everything Everywhere All at Once did a much better job handling the multiverse than Doctor Strange did. Not to say that I didn't really enjoy Doctor Strange, I did, but I didn't leave the theater being like, what? Like,
Yeah.
this makes sense. It's all about bagels and accounting. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Um, I would say that's definitely in my top three. I don't think it's the best. I guess best and favorite are different things. Um, is that your favorite movie, or is that like the movie that you were like, wow, this just absolutely blew me away?
Yeah, I'd say it blew me away. Like I didn't expect it to be so good. Like I was expecting it to be like a weird comedy. I mean, it was, but their last movie was Swiss Army Man, so I was expecting more of that. But
So Army Man, though, also fantastic. Um, I didn't expect any of the things that happened in that movie to happen because I walked into it knowing what it was, but having not. I didn't read anything about it. I didn't go out of my way to see what people are saying. I just saw it when I saw it, and it was like, this movie's fucking insane.
yeah,
And that's Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was at the end. I walked out and I was just like, I don't even know. Like, this was incredible. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't expect most of the stuff that was going to happen. Um, the different multiverse worlds that they visited were fantastic because in all these other movies that deal with the multiverse is such a serious, like, oh, you can't talk to people, you can't do things, you can't do that. Like, you just got to show up, do your thing, and leave. And I'm
yeah.
like, hell yeah, I'm trying to watch two people with hot dog fingers finger blast each other's throats. Like, you know, hell yeah, I'm trying to watch Jamie Lee Curtis in like a weird fitting fat suit for the whole movie. Like, you
Yeah,
know, uh,
yeah.
I
There's
loved it.
way more universes than Doctor Strange, which I was expecting a lot more from.
Yeah, I think everybody was. And I think if Everything Everywhere All at Once hadn't come out like at the exact same time, I think people would have been more forgiving. But Doctor Strange, got released and everyone was like, well, Everything Everywhere All at Once is like one of the best movies in recent memory. Like, and then you have this really bizarre Sam Raimi film come out, which was like 10% Doctor Strange, 50% Evil Dead, like this weird combination of things that also dealt with a multiverse. And it was like, well, Doctor Strange is the bad movie out of the two of them now. So
Yeah,
um, I think if I had to peg my favorite movie of the pandemic plus the year afterwards, I'm sure you've seen Worst Person in the World, right?
not yet actually. No, I just got the Criterion, so
Wow.
I gotta watch it
Do
soon. I've been watching too many shitty movies for podcasts.
uh Worst Person in the World was like, I had no interest in seeing it, and then it won the the Cannes Film Festival, or Cannes, if you want to do that. It won the Palme d'Or, which is like, like the best picture. And I was like, oh, maybe I should pay attention to this. Um, and then I watched it and I was like, I'm so glad that I didn't sit this one out. Like, this movie fucking ruled. It's it's probably one of the most realistic character driven movies I've ever seen in my life. There wasn't a single point in the movie where a character makes a choice where I disagreed with that choice, if that makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
the characters are written so well that they do things that actual human beings will do, which is something that does not happen in most movies, right? Um, Characters make choices that drive the plot forward, but sometimes you're like, why would you ever do that? Why would you make that choice? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
You know? But in Worst Person, I was like, the main character, I was like, this person could be real. This person feels like they're real. And the choices that they're making feel like choices that an adult human being would make. And that made um, it makes the movie way more effective at the story it's telling, because you're like, that could be me, that could be anybody. um this could be someone I know. It's I'm making it sound like it's a sad movie. It's not a sad movie, but yeah, it was just so realistic. It literally blew me away. And I was so glad that it got a Criterion release within like 16 months, because that only happens to certain movies. Like Wes
Yeah.
Anderson films get that, get the 16-month window. But um great fucking movie. I can't wait for you to watch it. We can do a whole episode just about that. Be the worst podcast in the world.
Yeah. I'll watch it soon.
So then the flip side to that, those are the movies that we've really loved. Is there anything in the next year that you're like, I gotta have it. I need it now. I need to see this tomorrow. Like, anything that you're like really sold on?
Uh, Nothing really comes to mind. I mean, all the Marvel shit, obviously.
Yeah. You're not excited for Avatar 2 like everyone else in the world is? I'm not, but
I really couldn't care. I, yeah, I never saw the first one in the theater. It was just way too hyped. I'm like, fuck this. Saw it on Blu-ray. I was like, oh, this is okay.
I don't think I actually saw the whole movie. So I woke up, the guy was white. Went to sleep. I was watching the movie. I fell asleep. He was white. I woke up. He was blue. I said, "Well, damn. Okay." And then the movie ended, and I was like, "That's Avatar. All right." Then people are like, "What did you think of Avatar?" I was like, "It was cool. Loved it. Looked great." There is a new Puss in Boots movie coming, which is what I'm excited about.
Oh, hell
We're trying to
yeah.
bring the Shrek multiverse back. Um, I'm actually most excited for, outside of Marvel stuff. I'm actually looking at this giant list because there was something specific that I just saw a trailer for that just like had me. I was like, let's go. Man, guess it's not going to be that good if I can't remember. It's fine. I mean, okay, then the obvious pick is John Wick 4 next year.
Yeah,
That's the movie everyone's waiting for.
they're always good. Yeah. We got Clerks 3 coming out.
I'm sold. I'm actually really interested in it. I like that the premise for Clerks 3 is because everybody knows that the Clerks premise has always been that it's Kevin Smith telling his story through his own lens. And Clerks 2 is like a little bit of a departure where, like, yes, there is Kevin Smith's life in that movie, but it's not quite the same as the first one. It becomes more about the side characters. But 3 is literally, if Kevin Smith never made Clerks and continued to work as a clerk and then decided to, it's very meta, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the point. Like, I'm
Uh,
totally in.
yeah, I'm hoping it's because I didn't like Reboot. I don't know if you did, but it was like a little too meta. He was trying too hard, so it
Yeah.
seemed like. But from the trailer, it looks way better than Reboot.
Reboot was tough. I because Jay and Silent Bob are characters that I've loved, and I've seen all the movies, and I've seen all the good ones, I've seen the bad ones, I've seen all his other work, and yeah, Reboot was just too on the nose. Like all the jokes, like I feel like if you watched that movie and you hadn't, seen every Kevin Smith film, and you hadn't listened to at least, a couple different of it, versions of his podcast, and you didn't know all the secondary characters in his real life, that movie doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like and it's not anybody's fault, but like, he's openly said that the thing that he likes doing about movies now is like getting to cast his friends, getting to cast his daughter, getting to hang out with them and get paid, and that's fine. But that movie fucking sucked. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna need him to lay off the weed just a little bit for this next one. Or more. I don't know what the fix all is here, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
need him to rein it in. Um yeah, it's Kevin Smith, man. I haven't caught up with anything that he's doing outside of Clerks. I haven't listened to a podcast. I haven't listened to anything. I checked out like after the heart attack. I was like, I don't, all right, good enough.
Yeah. I'll check out his movies, but I'm not like following him as much as I was before. There,
It's crazy how much has changed.
yeah. There was that whole thing with his horror movie, Kilroy was here. I don't know if you heard about that. They did it. He did it as a NFT. That fucking bullshit.
I did not, I knew that the movie was happening or that it was a thing that was in works, but I had no idea that that's what was the end result of that was.
Yeah, he put it out as an NFT. So
So
hopefully it'll get a wide release at some point, but
yeah, I'm just looking it up. So he did 5,555 in NFTs of the movie, right? And I wonder if they're all,
it's got to be someone pirated it.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, let's get started on NFTs, right? Like
Yeah.
you own the movie, but I can also screen record this shit. So, you know, I wonder if there's any. I'm gonna show my age and ignorance. I don't know that I understand how to buy an NFT. I know what they are, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I wanted to go buy his NFT, I don't know that I could figure that out.
Yeah, me neither. So I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm like, you've already pushed away half your fan base by doing that. So
I'm like looking at the website that they specifically built for it to see what I've got to do to get this movie. It's like when the Martin Shkreli, the pharmacy bro, the dude that got in a lot of trouble, but he also owned the singular copy of the Wu-Tang album that
yeah,
he bought at auction, and it was like, and then he got busted and arrested. And I'm pretty sure the album got returned back to Wu-Tang, and it was like, then just put it out. Like just let it. You got your money. Like put it out.
yeah.
This is pretty interesting. Um, I'm literally on the website where you can purchase the NFTs, and I also still don't understand how to like. Just tell me where to put my credit card information. That's all I
Yeah,
need to
right.
know. Like, I, do I need like? Can I trade you the Bitcoin that's in my Cash App wallet right now? Like, what do I got to do to get this movie, man? I also haven't visited. I also haven't looked online for it because I didn't know that this was happening. I wonder if like do you think there's just a torrent of this movie? There totally is. Yeah. I'm on my work computer right now and I can't wait to get in trouble with my IT for being on the Pirate Bay. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'll do it on my own computer later. Um, that's the last thing I need is to have to explain while I was trying to fucking screen record a torrented NFT movie. Like, I don't know. I think they'd fire me. I'm not sure. I don't know how they work, so I don't know what
Like,
the
oh, what movie is
ramifications
it?
are. They're like, is that Kevin Smith film? Like, you're fired. We're done. We're done. We're done. Like, didn't he have a heart attack? Yes, he did. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he won't shut up about it.
In fact, a part of his heart, he minted it. It's fucking an NFT, man. Yeah, upcoming movies though are I'm glad that movies are now like getting their wide theatrical release again. There was that pocket of time where everything was going straight to streaming, which is it's not ideal for anybody. I mean, it was nice, but um
Yeah.
all the stuff coming out without me having to pay meant that I actually wasn't going to watch any of it because I was like, it'll just be there. So
Yeah, I watched a bunch of because the Warner Brothers, they came out on HBO Max same day. I watched pretty much everything that they released. Definitely saved some disappointment in the theater. That's for sure.
I did that for the HBO Max like same day releases. We did watch all of those, but um there's just like stuff that's like going like directly to like Tubi, and I'm like, I'm not downloading another app like so that I can watch like some shit that I don't want to watch anyways. Um, man, what did HBO Max release same day? They did,
Suicide Squad or The
yeah,
Suicide Squad.
yeah, which ruled. I mean, I loved it. That's in my top five for movies that happened over the pandemic that I loved.
So good.
What else? There was I just don't know. The last 3 years are just a blur, basically.
Yeah.
The Batman, which was like a month after the theatrical release or whatever. Um, Fantastic Beasts, yeah. I mean, it looks like they're gonna drop Black Adam and Shazam like immediately after they come out right on HBO Max. It's like DC is never gonna be able to dig themselves out of this hole that they're in right now.
No, especially after the Batgirl shit.
Can you imagine like I wanted to see it like I was gonna see it either way, good or bad.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a movie being so dog shit and not worth your time that you basically finish it and they're like, we're just gonna delete it.
Yeah. Well, I heard that it got the same test ratings as Black Adam, but they're like, well, we can't fuck with The Rock, so
Well, I mean, The Rock has been, campaigning. So we got the first Shazam movie we got it years ago, and at that point, The Rock had already been campaigning to play Black Adam for years. And I'm pretty sure that he has his own money invested in the movie. So like, I feel like no matter what, and The Rock is The Rock, right? The Rock puts a movie out, it's $100 million first night. Like,
yeah.
dude just commands audiences, which is fine. Jumanji ruled, but but yeah, I don't know, man. Shazam's too is pretty cool though. I like that one. I like the first one. I'm looking forward to the second one, but yeah, DC's quality is just out of control right now. It's just they're not doing a great job.
I was looking forward to Brendan Fraser and Batgirl.
Me too, man. He's coming back and people are appreciating him again, but
Yeah.
not if DC's gonna just cancel all the shit that he's in,
At least he's going to be in a Scorsese movie, so
which will be interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I'm looking forward to the upcoming Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon. It was a book that's being adapted, um, with Leo, I think, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. It should be good. I hope it's actually, yeah, it's all these incredible actors. Um, when does that come out?
I think it got pushed back. It was supposed to be this year. No idea anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like they just reshot, so we probably won't see it for another year, but it's fine. We have plenty to look forward to. We have John Wick, we have Fast 10, uh, we have the um the Ty West film X, the
Oh yeah.
prequel to that, Pearl, which is like it's gonna be weird that I'm gonna be able to see that in theaters, but I saw X at home. So,
Yeah.
like that actually I momentarily forgot about that movie. I would actually put that up there as well as possibly in my top three that I've seen in recent memory. It was awesome. I loved it.
I think it's number 4 of this year for me.
It's a good number. I'm trying to think movies that I've seen recently because we talked about this outside of the podcast. I One of the first things we did when the Alamo Drafthouse all of them reopened for full capacity is they brought the season pass back. So we've had that, and I've literally never lived closer to a movie theater in my life. I can stand in my front yard and I can scream and you can hear me at Alamo Drafthouse. Like it's that close.
Nice. I'm
Um,
like the complete opposite. We're like 40 minutes away.
oof,
Yeah. Fucking military base in the middle of nowhere. It sucks.
yeah. I was gonna say like you guys have to like travel off base and then go to like the next like is it like the next town over or like the next bigger town like
Yeah.
adjacent to you guys?
Next bigger town. Yeah.
Is the theater good though? Is that the Cinemark or
Yeah. It's good theater, but their membership sucks. You get one ticket a month and discounts. Yep.
that is the worst membership I've ever heard.
Yeah. There is, I just found out, I was talking to Andrew. He's talking about Regal. They have one of those plans, unlimited. There's one like 45 minutes away, but that's like planning a whole day around seeing one movie. Drive 45
Regal,
minutes away.
yeah, drive 45 minutes, go see a 2.5 hour movie, drive the 45 minutes back. You start adding all that up, and it's like that's 5 hours of your life right there to see a movie.
Yep.
I had Regal before the pandemic. I'd had the Regal pass for a year, and Regal, in my opinion, was the best one outside of like the original movie pass, where like you just showed up and saw whatever you wanted to see. Because Regal had no limits on, at the time. I don't know about now, but before the pandemic, you could book as far out as you wanted. So if you wanted to see a movie next month, you could book out a month. You could see multiple movies in a day. You just couldn't have the tickets concurrently. Like, so you couldn't buy like, a ticket, two tickets for, a 7 o'clock movie and another 7 o'clock movie. That doesn't work. Everyone, you have to have like a different thing, but like you could have a 7 o'clock movie that ends at 9, and then you could book a 9:30 ticket for a different movie or the same movie or whatever. And we used to just walk to the Regal that was near us and just fucking be like, or we'd like go to Target to if we need to get something. We're like, "You want to see a movie?" And we just walk in and just like boop, scan the thing and like go sit down and watch a movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if we were
Um,
closer, I'd definitely be doing that this year. There's been a lot coming out.
the beauty of Alamo is they get new movies and they show them for a couple weeks, but their classic programming is so good. Like right now, they're doing like movies that were released in summer of 1982. They're doing like like a retrospective look at all those movies that were released, and it's like I can see those for $1 basically. That's what I pay, um, and I get tickets to all the other stuff, and it's pretty nice. So I've been seeing everything that's been coming out, um, which has been really bizarre. What was the last movie you saw in theaters? Was it Everything Everywhere? Was it Doctor Strange?
I just saw one yesterday, the new Dragon Ball movie.
Oh shit! Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. I was like, fuck it, why not? I had a free ticket from rewards points. When else am I gonna
Nice.
see a Dragon Ball movie in the theater? Might as well.
Like I know that Dragon Ball, like the series in full is like still active. Like there's still new stuff coming out. Um, was this a movie that was set like now, or was this a movie that exists within like the old series, but like as a side story?
I think it's after the new series, Dragon Ball Super. I haven't watched any of that, so I was kind of lost with a few new characters. But
But it was free. That's all that matters.
yeah, probably could have saw a way better movie, but
Yeah, probably.
still haven't seen Nope. Should have gone and saw
Oh,
that.
you got to see it. It's yeah, it was good. It was weird, but it was really good. I actually got self-conscious writing my letterboxd review about it. Um, because I didn't seem to like it. I liked it, but I don't seem to like it as much as everyone else in the world likes it. And if you look at letterboxd, you get like the graph of the stars, and like it was all skews towards like a 4 and a 5. And I was like, I had to pause before I put my review, and I think I gave it 3.5. I was like, am I just too stupid to have understand the movie? Like, did I miss something? Is that why I'm not like in love with this film. And so I spent like an hour researching, and I was like, no, I understood the movie. I was like, I just don't. It's like nothing is gonna ever top Get Out. Like that was fucking the perfect movie at the perfect time. It's like everything that he's done since then has been really good, but it's never
Yeah.
gonna be as good as that first one.
Yeah. That was another reason I was waiting to see Nope, is that people were kind of divided on how it is. So I like to just wait until people stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's good. Um, my only problem is that uh, fuck, what's his name? Daniel Kaluuya, right? That's the yeah. He's the guy that's in Jordan Peele films, but he had to pass on returning to Black Panther because they were shooting Nope at the same time. And I don't think it matters. His character in Black Panther was largely unimportant, but I don't know. That's a tough choice to make, right? Like, do you join a film that's slightly more indie, but it's a director that you've known, you worked for, you love, the story probably means more to you, or do you join basically what's guaranteed to be the largest movie in the history of an ensemble cast, which is largely like a black cast? Like, doesn't matter whether Black Panther is a good movie. It's gonna fucking blow the roof off of everything because of Chadwick.
Oh yeah.
Um, like the pre-sale tickets and stuff for it, or like the signups or notifications for it, or like, dude, I don't think there's gonna be a non-sold out showing of Black Panther near me for like a month.
Oh yeah.
Which means I'm gonna wait a month to see Black Panther because I'm not trying to be in a theater. I still won't go to a theater that's fully packed. I'm not fucking with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I went opening night for Multiverse of Madness. That was a mistake.
I think we went the Sunday after. We saw it like Sunday morning. It was still very busy. Um, and I had to I had to think about like whether I was going to tell these people next to me to shut the fuck up or not, which I don't often think about in theaters. I'm like, whatever, people are talking, I don't care. It doesn't bother me that much. But the people that were next to me had clearly never seen any Sam Raimi films whatsoever. They were like 15, right? And that's fine. That's not an issue. It's a Marvel movie. You're going to get what you get. But like halfway through, like all the Raimiisms, like the weird things that he does with shots and like the weird ways that he has people, like the weird dialogue choices that he makes that
Yeah.
within Marvel maybe don't make sense, but they're like specific callbacks to movies and things that he's done previously. And it was like, I felt like fucking Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, look, like I know that.
Fucking
But
Pizza
the
Papa.
fucking pizza papa, man. And people next to me were just fucking howling, dude, just cackling, like this movie's so fucking stupid. And I was like sitting there and I was like, yes, it is a stupid movie. That's kind of the point. We can all agree on that. But like when they're doing the shots at the end where, spoiler, he inhabits the fucking, he possesses the zombie body. And it's like, dude, this is literally like Evil Dead. It's like like verbatim shots from Evil Dead. Like, what was the other one? Was it
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell? Like literally shots that are like identical to that. And I was like, I'm fucking loving it. And these guys are just laughing. I just took everything that I had to not turn and just be like, shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. You're
Yeah.
killing me right now.
Yeah. When I saw it, there was a loud child next to me. That's the worst. Children.
Dude, like in a theater where like that's the one place outside of libraries where there's just an expectation of like quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if your kid's well behaved, do your thing. But if it's like the 7:30 showing on the Saturday for like a major release, maybe that's not the time to bring your kid to see the movie.
Yeah. Or at least tell them to shut up. Just don't let them
Yeah,
fucking keep going.
dude. The Yeah, I don't know, man. People just like I think everyone's so desperate to like be out of their house. People are just like taking their kids everywhere these days. Like, um, I literally, so like I still do like axe throwing, and I work for this company, and um do people will just like bring their children, and it's like, well, that's not, it's safe, but it's like not a good choice. It's like they can't participate, they can't drink. It's like you've now negated the two reasons that you would do these things.
Yeah.
um and they're just like kids, just like, you got to sit on the stool and not move and shut the fuck up, don't talk. It's like, it might have been easier just to trust your neighbor to watch him for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, little Johnny needs to be outside of the house. No, little Johnny needs to be in the fucking house, like not doing anything, playing Fortnite. All right, like
Yeah.
Goku just got released. All right, I know that he wants to play Fortnite right now. Speaking of Fortnite, though, pandemic game, like the well of games ran dry pretty quickly. But now that we're out, and things are basically, major AAA releases are getting dropped every 6 months. Are you playing anything like new or interesting or special?
Not at the moment. I have so many that I need to play, but it's like I have too many movies. I have too many games. Like I don't know. Last thing I played though was the Guardians game.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it was surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting much after the Avengers, but it was really good.
It was nice that they went with like the decision to make the characters not be the movie characters, right? Um, we they all looked the same, but like mostly the same. But they weren't it wasn't the same actors, which is important, because if it had been the same people, then it's like, well, does this tie into the multiverse?
Yeah.
It was just like a cool separate story that you got to play that just fleshed out these characters in a different way than what we're used to seeing. It was really fun.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting like you just be Star Lord the whole time and control everyone else's. I thought you switched, but I ended up liking that. So
Yeah, it was cool being able to like select the like powers for everyone else to use, but then like largely just get to be Star Lord, and build out the way that he's played, because you could like put the points in like the different systems. And um I mean, I still just mashed the shoot button the whole time. Like, I didn't do much else other than that, but
yeah,
it was awesome. I'd love for them to do more like that. Like, the Avengers game was terrible. uh all the things they've added to it, I haven't cared to look. Like, I'm not going to go back and play. But Marvel games are tough. They're
yeah.
usually bad.
Unless it's Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man ruled. Um, I'm dying. I'm ready for the next one. I
Yeah,
wish it was tomorrow.
yeah.
I played. I mean, there are more Marvel games coming. There's like the Midnight Suns game, which is going to be like the tactical shooting. So it's like, uh, what was it? Oh, fuck the game. Do you remember the Alien game? They made two of them. Uh, XCOM or whatever, or
Oh
CrossCom,
yeah,
whatever the fuck they
XCOM.
called
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Uh, and they also did that with Mario, for the Switch, the Mario Rabbids game,
Oh, dude.
where like it was like Mario like in a tactical shooter, but like instead of a gun, it's like a Mario weapon. So he's like shooting a fireball, and I'm like, that's a grenade, bro. Like, he just threw a grenade at them. Um, so that might be good, but yeah, Marvel games are tough, man. The Avengers game was just hot trash.
Yeah, I got it for free and I didn't even play it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth the time. It's not
No,
worth the effort.
no. But
I think I think there's a Suicide Squad game coming. There's also like a Gotham Knights game, but
yeah,
um
DC games are
that,
good, which is weird,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I don't think I've played a bad DC game, because the three or four most recent releases were all, it was like the Arkham series. Um and then technically the Rumble Versus game, the which I don't know if you've played that yet. It's the Smash clone, but with Warner Brothers properties.
oh, I haven't played it yet. But
So it's like, in a loose way, it's a DC game because there's DC characters in it, but there's also like Garfield or some shit.
yeah,
Like,
I know
like
like Arya
like
Stark's in it. Like,
Shaggy from like fucking Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah, they do the meme where he's like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, dude, it was free, man. Like to have a Smash clone on consoles that aren't the Switch is pretty nifty, but it's just so bizarre to like be playing Smash but as like fucking Harley Quinn or something.
Yeah,
But it's good. It's good. I mean, it's free. I love a good free game. Um, except Marvel's Avengers, which I paid for, returned it, and then got it free. Tried to play it again, deleted it immediately.
yeah, it's garbage.
Did you ever get a chance to play Ghost of Tsushima when it came out?
Oh yeah, I finished that a few months ago, the director's cut. So
It's
good.
incredible.
Play
Definitely
in
one of the best games.
yeah, you play in Kurosawa mode or whatever.
Yeah, I uh I beat it on the PS4 when it launched, and then when we got the PS5, and then they did like the minor update and re-released it. We bought it for the PS5 then, and yeah, playing through it the second time, getting to be able to just like mess around with like the different settings and like the yeah like the black and white mode, and it's cool. The first time I just like experienced it like as is, just because I didn't know what was going on, but yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah,
Looks, I mean, it looked great on the PS4, but like we bought a new TV when we moved, thank God, because I've been using the same TV that I bought from like fucking woot.com, 8 years before. New TV with the PS5, like Tsushima on it is Jesus Christ, dude. It's like a movie. It's like a real movie.
yeah, so good. Yeah, we got a Sony TV a while back, and like Sony with a Sony console is so good.
It's just incredible. I mean, games are just insane right now. I actually like get offended when a AAA game comes out and it doesn't look like perfectly polished and cleaned. I'm like, that the people that are playing this can see like everything, like
Yeah,
like it's like 4K with like the that the HDR, and like it's on a 100-inch fucking screen, and they're playing it out of a PS5 that they've got, or like they're playing it on their $8,000 fucking computer that could send a rocket to the moon. Like you better not fuck up
yeah.
because anyone's gonna know.
Have you played The Quarry?
No, it's I because I'm still working my way through the other super massive games. We still need to play and finish uh House of the Devil was the last one, right? I think
Yeah, I think
Ash
so.
Devil's Ashes or some shit.
Something like that. Yeah, there's
House of the Devil.
two I haven't played, but I just finished The Quarry not too long ago. That one's really good.
I've heard it's more like Until Dawn as opposed to the side games, which have been, smaller, bite-sized pieces of a larger puzzle.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like twice or three times as long, like the story.
yeah, I want to play it. There's very few like couch co-op games these days, or co-op games, period. Um, so yeah, I'll take all of the ones that I can. But also, I've been buying like every major release at launch just because there has been so little to play, and things like the Quarry came out around the same time I think as the Evil Dead game, so I opted to buy the Evil Dead game, and now I don't play the Evil Dead game, and I
Yeah,
wish that I had the Quarry.
yeah, I've played that for like a few days. Like, okay, it's fun, but you
That's all. Yeah,
get bored of online games so quickly.
yeah. I think the nostalgia of like getting to, because like the last Evil Dead, like actual legit Evil Dead game, I think was like the PS2 Dreamcast era, maybe the PS3, but like those games fucking ruled because they were basically like shooters, single player shooters. But um yeah, I played online. I got my ass kicked. I played against the bosses, or like the AI. I was able to beat that fairly easily. So it's like, well, there's no in between, right? Like you either You know,
Yeah,
you either beat
and
the AI or you just get fucking smoked by some dude who's played for 10,000 hours already.
yeah, and the single player story is way too hard.
Yeah, it's just like yeah, just it's not built for that. Like it doesn't seem like it was ever made for that.
Yeah, I like how they're adding stuff like Castle Kandar just got released, but probably won't end up playing it.
No, and I didn't ever enjoy the other versions of this game because I mean it's the same as the Friday the 13th game, which I played for like 2 days and deleted. Dead by Daylight or whatever, played for 2 days and deleted. Like I guess this type of game isn't really for me, and I don't even know what you call them. It's like they're online, but it's like the like I don't know. I feel like there's a term for those type of games, and I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't either. Like I like the concept that there's a game of these franchises, but I don't know. Guess I just don't like playing games where you have to think about stuff with other people that you
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I only play shooters online, but single player games have been pretty good lately. Like I put a disgusting amount of time into Elden Ring, of course, everyone did. Um, Still, I put it. I've reached a point where I put it in, I turn it on, I get killed, and I'm like, take it right back out. I'm like, it's fine. I'll play something else.
I haven't played it. I never usually get into those kind of games either, but
I mean, if you can get it on, like it'll hit rock bottom for price eventually. It's definitely worth checking out. But
grab it on Black
I,
Friday or something, maybe.
yeah, I can't believe that we're that close. I mean, I'm already gearing up. I'm like, what new stuff do I need? What's gonna happen on Black Friday? Am I gonna buy like a new computer? Like, let's get weird with it. I haven't done
So
anything.
so many Blu-ray sales and shit too.
I have reached a point where I'm like the movies that I buy, it's like an accordion, right? All these companies, like all these new companies, they release their first couple movies, and I buy them all because it's like, fuck, what if they're real? I haven't seen the movie. What if it's really good? And what if I can't ever get it again? So I buy it. I watch it, and like this movie fucking sucked. Uh,
So
Sell
all
it.
90% of Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, I was buying the monthly releases in the last. I don't think I've bought a Vinegar Syndrome specific release in a while, but I do buy most of the partner releases, which in my opinion have been very good.
Yeah, way better than Vinegar Syndrome's releases.
I just cleared out most of my, yeah, like I had all the titles from like last year that I watched twice, and I was like, I'm never gonna watch this again.
Yeah,
Like it's literally just taking up valuable shelf space. I'm gonna get rid of it.
yeah. Good thing is they hold value though.
Yeah, I mean, I very rarely lose money on them, like because I'll buy them either for the pack, like the month pack where it ends up being like $20 a movie, or you wait to like the halfway to Black Friday sale, you scoop everything up for $20, you watch it once, you can sell it for like 18. I'm like, cool, I'll take the $2 hit to have seen Auntie Lee's meat pies twice, like I'll take the $2 hit to see fucking Devil Story, whatever.
Oh,
Uh,
fucking Ani Lee's meat pies. I got like 15 minutes into that. I was like, nope, sold it.
it's pretty bad. Out of the stuff from that time frame last year when it came out, I liked it more than most of the movies, but um, my favorite uh non like special edition release, like so not like the like VSA or VSU or VSP, like all that shit, like for just their standard just like Blu-ray releases. My favorite thing they've ever put out was Terminal Island. I don't know if you've gotten around to see it yet because you probably have like every fucking Vinegar Syndrome movie to work through still. So
Oh, I've sold off a lot,
yeah. Well, if you haven't
but
seen
I
Terminal
haven't seen
Island,
it yet.
very good. It's
Trying
it's basic,
trying to remember if I sold that one or not.
dude. I hope you didn't. It's actually really good. Which I guess really good is a relative term, right? Really good compared to everything else. But my thing right now has been like Arrow releases have gotten better. they've been doing more stuff that I'm more interested in. And so has, Criterion has kind of picked it up again. There was like a pocket of time where I didn't buy a Criterion movie for like 2 years outside of like Wes Anderson. And now I've bought like five in the last 6 months, which
Yeah,
is,
same here. It's like, Okja, worst person in the world, drive my car,
yeah,
shit like that for the past couple months.
yeah. I've been just mostly buying the main three or four smaller like boutique labels that have like a lower production rate, like or like have less movies that they put out. So like Cauldron Films, like right, they've been around for a couple 2 years, 3 years, whatever. They have like 9 movies in their catalog, like or maybe 10 now, but
Yeah.
very few movies.
I skipped a couple because I'm not a huge Giallo fan, but I have most of them.
That's fair. Um, what's the other ones? The Error 4444 guys.
Oh yeah.
I still, it's funny, like I missed their first one, which was the Anatomia Extinction or whatever. Like missed it, had to buy it fucking secondhand. It cost me an arm and a leg. Uh, and then so when Funky Forest or whatever, when that came out, I pre-ordered it immediately, and now those are like I have mine. It also is available through Third Window, I think, or like one of the other
Yeah.
Japanese companies. But like it's like this that release is like a dime a dozen. I see somebody selling it on Facebook every week. There's like a different person selling it at cost, and like so then the new ones they released, I'm like, well, do I even fucking bother? Do I bother pre-ordering all four? Because there's two movies with like two different slipcases. Like, do I even bother, or just do I buy it later? Like,
Yeah, they went all out for those. I don't know what the deal is with those movies, but I
yeah.
got them.
I think there's still like enough left for me to get the like regular, like the two alternate like slipcase versions. But like, I wasn't gonna buy there was like the $200 pack that had like all the shit that I don't want or need. But
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. No, I shouldn't.
I did spend the most that I've spent on anything in recent memory is I missed the initial release of the Army of Darkness Shout Factory or whatever Scream Factory, whoever's releasing it. They had the new special edition, like with all the like it's like a pin and like this and that, whatever. But for the first like 500 copies, they were selling it for like $60, and I missed that, so I had to pay like $100 to get it. But I was like, fuck yeah! I've been waiting for the Blu-ray release, like or the updated release of it for that as long as it's been a thought.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Hopefully, I
They're at
still
like
have some.
98% sold out. So, but I'm waiting for.
Me. Oh.
You're like, hold on now, hold on, I need 5 minutes. I remember when I think it was Crescendo House. They came out of nowhere. They released the Labyrinth of Cinema, and then now it's been 18 months since they've done anything. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, I promise we'll have more stuff. That was like a year ago.
Yeah, they announced like a few more titles at least, and then nothing ever came of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they like I bought it because it was like their first release, and they're like, that's a big deal. And like you want to support small creators. But then also I was like, well, fuck. Everyone else is releasing this movie too. like at Third Window and someone else. Like the same thing happened with the second Error 4444 release. It was like they were doing it, but so was everybody else at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, do you bother? Like how do you pick? People buy both, and it's like, what do you do about that? Like,
Yeah,
too many movies.
88 Films been doing that too, which I've been buying pretty much all of their kung fu shit.
They're doing a great job. Like they're pulling all the old like Jackie Chan movies that most people didn't see. They're pulling like all of the other like all the people that are also in Jackie Chan movies. Like they've been crushing. And I like I don't know, I like their slipcases a lot. Like I'm not normally a slipcase person. I don't care that much, but a lot of times you get a slipcase and it's just like the flimsiest, shittiest thing you've ever seen. You're like, I can't believe I paid extra money for this.
Yeah.
But
Severin.
Yeah, yeah. When somebody's selling them without the slipcases, I'm like, oh, thank God, because I'm going to pay a little bit less, and I don't care about it. So, um, yeah, they've been crushing, but Arrow's been, yeah. I haven't been buying much Arrow lately, but then they keep doing things like putting the new Shaw Brothers set out. That was like an instant like fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Um, my only problem, or I guess issue with Arrow, is those fucking box sets they're putting out are way too big. Like my Shaw scope, the first one sticks out like this far on my shelf. Like
Yeah,
you
I put
walk
on.
by it and you like get domed. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's on top of mine, but it's like half my shelf space.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep pumping them out. I'm just gonna have to like put like a floating shelf up and just put all the movies on. But it's insane. Yeah, man, 3 years, 3 years of movies and games and just shooting the shit since the last episode. Um, I don't even know how long we've been recording for. It's got to have been an hour, right? It's almost 2:30 my time.
Yeah, just an hour or a little over.
It's a great episode. It's nice when you don't do them weekly because you have more to come back to.
Yeah.
I'm like, this podcast could be 5 hours long. It's not going to be, but it could be. Um, yeah, man, I just so much to talk about. There's so much going on, but I don't know. Maybe we should think about reshaping a couple of dicks. I don't know what it looks like now. I don't know what it will be, could be, should be, but
Just go
there's
back
got
to
to be
our
something
roots.
there.
Game of Thrones reviews.
I think it premieres tonight, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow morning, and if it's good, we'll be back. And if it's bad, see everybody in 2027.
That could make for a better episode. Who knows? It's bad.
2027, man, the fucking world is gone, bro. Like it's just an asteroid hit us, we're on fire. It's just all hell's broken loose. But yeah, it's been crazy, man. The world's wild. The only thing that I have to look forward to most days is coming home, turning on the air conditioning, and just watching a shitty movie. That's
Yeah.
all that this world is these days.
Well, I mean, if you want to, could do a couple of flicks episodes as well.
Just drop it on me. I mean, if you guys have, I'd love to be a special guest for a special set of movies.
Should do Grizzly
Uh,
Rage.
bro, I still think about that movie actually a lot. um,
That's the whole reason that podcast exists.
I wonder, God, I just like can't even wrap my head around like how bad those movies were, but how many they made in that series. What was it the Man Eater series,
Yeah.
dude? That the Man Eater series just by itself has carried like any podcast that I've been a part of at any point has just carried it on its back. Like I remember we like have they made any more lately? I wonder.
I
The
don't
last
think
one they made
so.
was 2016, which
Oh,
actually isn't that long ago.
yeah.
Um, there's 28 of them. So Grizzly Rage was the original, and in my opinion, is probably the best one. I've only seen a handful more. I've seen Blood Monkey. Blood Monkey fucking ruled. Um, but they started as it's funny if you look at the first 9 movies, they're real things. It's like grizzly bear, spiders, tigers, crocodiles, squids, monkeys, ants, wasps, and then it becomes werewolves for an episode for one movie, and then it's like sharks, vipers, and then it's fucking swamp monster,
Yeah. Isn't there like a gargoyle one too or some shit?
gargoyle, the Jersey Devil, yetis, aliens, behemoth, scarecrow, a shark, and then the last one they made, the Man Eater series theme was curse, just curses.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would kill for somebody to put the whole series out like together.
Yeah. There's a few triple packs. I have most of them somewhere, but they're like less than $5. Uh,
They're just so bad.
yeah.
But I love that's my favorite thing, and that's what I miss about sci-fi. I think I haven't watched like a sci-fi specific like sci-fi the channel, you know. Um, just those movies that used to just come out like it's like a fucking movie about a bear, but it also has like Lou Diamond Phillips in it. You're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, he's still working, you know?
Now it's just like Sharknado 15.
Yeah.
I mean, those are fun
Uh,
too, but
Grizzly Rage walked so that Sharknado could run is what we're
yeah.
going with. um, if there's no Grizzly Rage, there is no Sharknado, there is no Sharktopus, there is no the fucking other shark movie, The Meg, even though that's a different movie. No, Grizzly Rage, in my opinion, wasn't the first, but it's what set off um the animals and or natural phenomenon that are somehow worse than their natural existence. Like, it's not just a grizzly bear, which would already fucking end you. It's a very special grizzly bear. And he's angry and he's cognizant of you as a human being. And, I don't know, man. Because the premise of Grizzly Rage is they kill the bear cub. They hit the bear cub with like a jeep, and then the mom bear becomes enraged and then just kills everybody. Like,
Yeah.
uh, it's just crazy. Great movies. I guess the company that made them is like gone, like long gone, like ran out of money in 2015.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It is surprising that they were able to get uh, as many movies in as they did. Actually, who's in this movie? Who's the star? I'm looking at the Wikipedia and I just saw something that had me. Oh my God. Is that the right guy? Is that the guy that I think it is? What's his name? The dude that stars in Grizzly Rage is none other than the current Superman in the Arrowverse right now. Tyler like Hoechlin, or however you say his last name.
Not know
Um,
that.
I didn't either. I scrolled by and I saw his name and I was like, that can't be right. Sure enough, he was the star of Grizzly Rage.
Oh shit. Huh.
Alongside Kate Todd, who is has not done much since then. So says every what that's that's America, man. Two people star in the same shitty movie. The female is forgotten quickly, and the male goes on to be Superman. That's Hollywood. Like it's like I recently watched All About the Benjamins, which is the Ice Cube movie.
Yeah.
In the first 5 minutes of that movie, fucking Oscar Isaac shows up, and he plays his character is like a super effeminate, like gay stereotype, but he's like a boom operator on a movie set, and he's in it, and I literally watched it, and I was like, what the fuck, and then I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely Oscar Isaac, and he hates that movie. So like he doesn't talk about it, he doesn't acknowledge it. He's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like that wasn't me. Like obviously it was. Um, it's probably because in the current climate of the world, playing that character, him playing the way that he played that character is like like
Yeah.
a good way to get fucking canceled. So he's like, that wasn't me. That was my brother. But
I love
yeah,
it when
man,
you come across that. Like a littlest character becomes like a big star.
yeah, it's I mean, you got to start somewhere, but seeing like people that do like a 2 minute bit part in some random shitty movie that everyone saw and then everyone forgot about, and then you fast forward 20 years and it's like, well, he's Moon Knight now.
Yeah.
You know, he's carrying the Marvel TV shows on his back at the moment. So, uh, are you current on the Marvel shows?
Yeah.
Do you like She-Hulk? I haven't watched it yet. Did you like it?
It's all right. It's like it's an origin episode, so I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, we can talk about that when you watch it.
I'm still working my way through Miss Marvel, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh, I've been not unfortunate that I'm watching it. I'm just unfortunately that far behind. I've been waiting until this whatever series is fully out so that I can just get through it. Because waiting week to week is like this is 20, you know, we're in the 2020s. Like we don't do that shit anymore. Just give me
Yeah.
the whole show and let me watch it. Like,
Yeah, it's annoying, but it gives us something to look forward to during the week, I guess.
it also like if the episode isn't great, that week wait where you sit on it for a week and you're like, fuck, this show's not gonna be good. And then you watch another episode and you're like, I still don't think it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then it gets turned around.
some of those Miss Marvel episodes are kind of slow. So that was like I waited a week for that. But overall it was a decent show.
I like it. I like that we have new characters. I like that we're building something bigger. And by we're, I mean obviously me and you. We have something to do with Marvel, I'm sure. We're responsible for Miss Marvel. Uh, uh, yeah, it's just for all the shitting on DC that I do. You know, their problem is that they can't figure out what they're trying to do. They can't figure out what direction they want to go in. You know, you have a movie that's a funny movie, then you have a movie that's a serious movie, then you have a movie that's not connected at all, then you have a movie that's not connected but it is connected. Like they don't, I don't think they have like an idea for where they're going. And then you have stuff like, okay, well, Ben Affleck doesn't want to do this anymore. Ezra Miller wants to uppercut children in Hawaii, like, you know, like
Apparently he's
whatever
in
weird
Vermont right
shit.
now.
Yeah, I saw that he's like he's like hiding, not in hiding, but he's just like trying to stay away from things. But I also read that somebody was like DMing him from a or them, sorry, from like a fan account, like an Ezra Miller fan account, and they were like, "I hope you're okay," and they replied back like, "Don't worry, I'm just trying to escape this cult. I'll be fine," or some shit, dude. I'm like, oh my god, what if this whole thing has been because Ezra Miller's like stuck in a cult and just trying to get out? um,
It's just the
Suddenly
Warner
I have
Brothers executives.
it's like I have more sympathy for Ezra Miller if that's true, but also that shit's crazy. uh yeah, so DC is just all fucked up, but Marvel is has too many like when I think about the Marvel universe right now, I can only picture the meme from It's Always Sunny with Charlie and the fucking board with all the strings going everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just like where like even the Marvel people don't know where like the shows are existing within like the timelines and the canon. Like Marvel will say it's this time, and then people will be like, well, that can't be possible because this has already happened. Like uh I'm always confused every time they release something new because I forget that the Eternals movie is like the furthest out from like from like where we are in real life. It's like 2026 or something. So I'm like none of the shows are acknowledging, as far as I can tell, that there's just a fucking celestial being like that just
Yeah.
came out of the earth, like just chilling, like with his hand up. And everyone's like, yeah. So, anyways, Daredevil, am I right? Like,
Yeah.
uh, so I'm really looking forward to reaching that point in time with the other shows where people have to deal with the fact that there's a celestial that's half out of the fucking earth right now. uh, yeah, I don't even know, man. But Miss Marvel's interesting, and She Hulk's probably going to be good. I mean, I don't care if She Hulk is bad. It brings Daredevil back. That's all I give a shit about. That's all I ever cared about.
Yeah.
And I wasn't interested in Echo, but now Echo is basically going to be Daredevil 2.0, and then we're going to get the real Daredevil show again. Like,
It's gonna
Let's
be
go,
like
man.
what Boba Fett was, half Mandalorian.
Yeah. That was my favorite episodes were the back half of that season where I was like, well, we're not going to get Mandalorian season 3 for a while, but this is basically it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, that was my that was my only regret with the Obi-Wan show is like, man, I sure wish they could find a way to tie all these things together, you know. You just see fucking I don't think the timelines line up that well, but like you just see, Boba Fett just strolling around in the background or
Yeah.
something. It's like, I've been here, man.
Yeah, I was expecting like Ahsoka to show up or something. Got to tie into her show.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to say spoilers, but everyone should have seen Obi-Wan by now. Uh, the whole show, I was like, man, it'd be so fucking cool if Qui-Gon came back. It'd be so fucking cool. Like that's all I've ever wanted. I just want them to get one more moment together where they're just like, it's all good. And then that last second where he fucking pops up as the Force Ghost, and it was Liam Neeson, and I was like shaking my TV. I was like, let's go. Like, that's all I wanted.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
care about any of the other shit.
yeah. I was expecting that to happen. It kind of foreshadowed it, but it was still awesome.
I just wanted to see it, right? Like, because in Clone Wars, Qui Gon shows up as like a Force ghost, and like Anakin gets time with him before they fucking wipe his memory. Like, I don't know if you remember that plot.
I haven't
Uh,
really watched the show.
oh man,
I
so
I'm not a fan of the animation.
that's fair. It's definitely you could tell it definitely started as a children's show and then evolved into something more. Um, but they basically did this 3-4 episode arc where they go to this planet that has a direct connection to the Force, both light and dark side. And while they're there, the guy that like the king of the planet has two children, and one is directly like one children has become a beacon for the light side of the Force, and the other child has become like the dark side of the Force, whatever. But they all live in harmony, so there's like no chat, there's no battle, there's no like negative, like there's no negative effect, like they just exist on this planet together. But they go there for a reason, and Anakin ends up connecting more with the child that's connected to the dark side of the Force. But he starts having visions of the Order 66, and what brings him back from that is Qui-Gon's Force Ghost starts communicating with him, because the connection to the Force is so strong on this planet that it allows everyone to do things that are maybe outside of their natural or their skill set for that time. Um, and so Qui-Gon shows up, and it is Liam Neeson that voices him, and he shows up, and so you get that couple episode arc where Anakin gets to spend time with him before they wipe his memory, and send him back along, because the Order 66 stuff, like he finds out about all of it, and he goes fucking bananas basically. And then they wipe his memory and they send him back, and they're like, it's all good. But it was like Obi-Wan's not with him at that time, so Obi-Wan doesn't get an opportunity to talk to Qui-Gon. So like you're just like, when is this going to happen? When is it going to happen? And then to have it happen in real life, which you know, or live action is what I should say, it was very cool.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that happened.
So spoiler alerts for anyone that hasn't seen season 4 of Clone Wars.
Yeah. I'll get to
Man,
it.
it was fucking
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Hopefully I can get past the animation, but
the getting through the first 6 seasons. The first 2 seasons are hard. 3, 4, and 5 are really good. 6 was incredible, but 6 was the one that was supposed to be the final season. And so just kind of like wraps up in a weird way. And then they stopped. They did what came after Clone Wars, which was Rebels. They did Rebels. They went back to Clone Wars after like a 5-year break, and they did season 7 of Clone Wars. And it's like you can tell that in that time, because it's Dave Filoni doing it before he goes off and does Mando and shit. You can tell that he is matured as a person and that he's matured as like a storyteller, because season 7 is basically like just Ahsoka dealing with leaving the Jedi, and like her coming to terms with what happens with Order 66 and like her coming to terms with Anakin being, Darth Vader. And dude, it's so fucking good. You could honestly probably just read the Wikipedia and then watch season 7. That's like maybe what you should do. But yeah, season 7 of Clone Wars is, I would say, better than 90% of the live action Star Wars stuff that we've ever had. That's a hot take, and I'll die on that hill. It's better than the prequels, I promise.
That doesn't take much, but
And better than the sequels, I promise. And better than all the other shit they put out that wasn't good. I'm really looking forward to the non-Skywalker movies eventually. I think Taika is up next to direct those because
oh yeah,
the
we got Andor next month.
I'm excited for it. I don't know what to expect because we know how his story ends. Homeboy is dead, but
Yeah,
it'll be cool to see. I think that's why Rogue One's such a great movie, but it's such a like, I don't need to see this anymore. We literally all know what happens. Like there
yeah.
was no surprise at the end of that movie when everyone fucking dies. You're like, because we've talked about what happens afterwards for the last 20 years and they're not around. So
Yeah,
but yeah, Andor should be good. And then Mando, this I think for Christmas, I think is the timeline.
I think
But
so.
we'll see, man. We could just make this a Star Wars episode, a Star Wars podcast. Could be called a couple of moons.
Yeah.
A couple of galaxies. I don't know. There's some potential. Every week we could also just change the release title to be relevant to what we're talking about if we
Yeah.
record an episode again. Like
sub-series.
could. But also we should just pick something weird to do for a couple of flicks, and I'll bring my thoughts in my A game to whatever dog shit movies are getting watched.
Yeah, if you want to pick something, we'll do one. If you just want it to be us two or everybody, doesn't matter to me.
I think I'd rather drop in on everybody so that it's like me joining y'all instead of me co-opting the name, if that makes sense, right? Like I'll just drop in and get weird with it. Like because I haven't listened to like the last, I'm gonna say I haven't listened to the last 10 because I don't listen to any podcast except for the Workaholics podcast and the Sunny podcast. But like I feel like you guys should do an episode where you get to treat yourselves and watch movies that aren't potentially the worst shit you've seen that week.
We did actually do one of those recently. Just recorded one on Friday. We did a Coherence. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't seen it.
It's really weird. It's kind of multiversity, but
Interesting.
the actors weren't given a script, just like an outline. It was pretty interesting.
Actually, that looks cool. Man, I'm gonna have to check it out. I recognize some of these people, but I don't know why. Interesting. I would actually love to do because there are a lot of movies that deal with the multiverse, and the multiverse as a concept is such a fun and weird concept to explore. I'd love to do like an episode where we just talk about bad multiverse / time travel movies, if that hasn't already been done recently. Because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of bad multiverse / time travel movies.
We did a time travel one, but they were good time travel movies. So a bad one would be interesting.
Like my favorite bad time travel movies, there's so many, but like, oh god, what was the one? Fuck, man. I'm literally having to look at bad time travel movies. Well, we all know that Goldmember is not a bad time travel movie. It's a great time travel movie. Do you remember in uh the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, they go back to
Oh
fucking feudal
yeah,
Japan.
yeah.
The top 10, according to Watch Mojo, the top 10 worst time travel movies. I'm offended by every one of these. Number 10 is Timeline, which I read the book. I didn't hate it. 9 is Star Trek Generations. I'm not a Star Trek fan, so that doesn't hurt my feelings. Number 8 was Goldmember. That's offensive. Goldmember fucking ruled. Number 7 was Time Cop 2, which was a direct sequel to, I don't know if you ever saw the first Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Time Cop 2, they go back in time to kill Hitler. So
I didn't even know there was a second one.
yeah. Number 6 is TMNT 3. Number 5 is Time Rider, which I actually am not familiar with. Number 4 is Free Jack, which I actually love. It's the Free Jack. Free Jack is that Emilio? Yeah, it's Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Rene Russo's in it. He's like a race car driver who goes back in time because I think that it's like they go back in time before they die, and I don't remember the premise really, but I just remember being like, this dude's he was like a NASCAR driver. Emilio Estevez's character is like a NASCAR driver. That's all that matters. Number 3 is A Sound of Thunder, which I have not heard of. It's from 2005. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
I'm like really invested in this list now. I'm sure that this is great content, but I'm like really invested in this Sound of Thunder. Looks terrible. It's based on a Ray Bradbury short, which is interesting, but it's got Ben Kingsley in it. It's got David Oyelowo before he was like a big star. Interesting. I'm gonna have to watch it. Number 2 is Just Visiting, but number 1, the number 1 worst movie, time travel movie on WatchMojo.com, and I'm gonna need everybody that ever listens to this to write them an email. They put Black Knight as the worst time travel movie, the Martin Lawrence movie where he fucking goes back to the castle times, the medieval times.
Yeah.
Nah, that can't be right. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's way better than some of the ones on that list.
Like, it's not a good movie, but I like it, and that's what matters. Do you have a favorite time travel movie? And that we can wrap up on this, but like of all time,
I guess Back to the Future too.
let's say removing Back to the Future as an option, because that's everyone's option, that's everyone's choice. Beyond Back to the Future, time travel movies.
Time Crimes is pretty good. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Time Crimes? I don't think so.
We just
Maybe I have.
we did that on our time travel episode. It was really good.
No, I haven't seen this. That is interesting.
Yeah, I
to check
checked
it
that out. Yeah.
I was gonna say mine is a movie that I don't think people think of as a time travel movie, but Terminator is a time travel movie. Homeboy goes back in time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think people think of it that way because the movie takes place in the current time, right? And it's just Arnold coming back in the timeline, but like that's time travel.
Yeah. Could also throw Endgame in there.
I mean, you have to put it in the list somewhere. I'm looking at IMDb's best time travel movies, and I am not seeing Endgame anywhere near the top, which is interesting.
Army of Darkness.
Also time travel. Also not on this list. This is Butterfly Effect, iconic, classic. All the Bill and Ted's. Click. Yeah, we should do time travel. I would love to talk about time travel movies. And we can talk about it in 3 years when we do our next episode.
You want to do that for this show?
I mean, it's your call. If you think it'd be better to just. So, what would be the premise? Would it be because I think if you do best or favorite time travel movies, I think there's going to be a lot of overlap between the two of us, and I think it's going to be a lot of movies that there's nothing left to be said about. Everyone has said everything they can say about most of those movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe like lesser known ones that we haven't seen.
I think, yeah, I think I would do. I'm gonna find a. I'm gonna look at a list of recent time travel movies, and I'm gonna narrow down the ones that I have not seen. I'm gonna watch them because this podcast, in a sense, because is about time travel. We went 3 episodes or 3 years from the last episode, and then before that, it was like a year in between our episodes. Uh,
Yeah.
we did like 15, 16 in a row, and then we did like one a month for a little while, and then one every 3 months for a little while, and then one every 6 months, and then it was like one a year, 3 year gap.
Yeah.
We've been everywhere all at once. We've not been doing everything though. We've just been everywhere. Uh, yeah, let's do a time travel episode and slash Game of Thrones. We'll see what happens with that.
All right. Yeah, I'll figure out a movie. Or just want to do like a movie each.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think I have one in
Two
mind.
two time travel movies we've never seen. That's what I'm shooting for here. All right, man. We should definitely put the MC Chris music back on.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
we'll
put it
get
back
get
on.
or something else. I mean, you could also just go to the whatever like royalty free music we could add, but
Yeah, I don't even know what I added last time. I just looked at it like right before we recorded. I'm like, the fuck is this music? I totally
you're like,
forgot I did that.
that'll work. Yeah, man. Well, it was good to do another episode. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll make it a regular thing, and it can just be a couple. We'll just change the title to a couple of episodes, and then dot 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 this year.
Yeah, we'll definitely should do more.
I'm game. I want to do one. Yeah, I want to get weird with it. We could be the most meta podcast. We could just start to retell and rehash the same stories that we've already previously told. And I actually came with stories because 3 years is a long time. And 3 years is a lot of me getting into wacky hijinks and shenanigans because that's what I do in my life. So I had some great stories in the bank, and then we got stuck on movies, which is what we do.
Yeah.
So we have to do at least one more because I've got some great stories. I just got back from vacation. The vacation fucking sucked. So you know that I've got stories.
Do like a story time segment.
I would love to do just like short little 15-minute bites where we could start by rehashing some of the icons, the great stories. I mean, I literally just recently told somebody the story about the fucking fight that we went to. The one that was in St. Albans that the first time. The Bro Rogan story, basically. I literally just told that story because a couple friends of mine are really, that recently have moved into town, and like we've been talking about UFC, and I was like, have I ever told you that I used to I used to step into the octagon? And then they were like, no, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I used to just get my fucking ass beat. Like I barely trained. I fucking hated training. I loved training, but I hated like, you know what I mean? Like I like doing it, but I don't like doing it. I'm tired of getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
And I pulled up the photo that I took the next day or the next week when I went back to work, and I had my fucking eye was all blacked out, and I had like a lump on my lip, and like my forehead was all fucking busted. And I was like, I lasted 17 seconds in this fight, you guys. I was like, but you know what? I got knocked out. Basically, I got TKO'd and I got KO'd, but I still have brain function, and that's what matters at the end of the day. I still can fucking form sentences.
Yeah.
Because I recently talked to the Matt, the dude that beat my ass the first time. He was the shorter guy that Yeah, that was the Maple Fest fight. That was when we went up for that
Yeah.
one. I recently was like said happy birthday to him or whatever, and I was like looking at his photos, and he looks exactly the same. I was like, he's still fucking yoked, and I'm like, I don't even know how I fucking got into the ring with this dude. Like, I pulled up the weigh-in photos of the two of us where like his bicep is like just shredded, and I had like the softest belly, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I just want to fight. So I should bring it back. I've been thinking about getting back into jujitsu, so we'll see.
Yeah, again, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I can't do anything. Like Uriah Faber's school is like an hour away.
That would be cool. That'd be a great place to train, I'm sure.
Team Alpha Male.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of fucking big names come through there, I'm sure. Like all the people, I mean, all the people that he trains with or trained with historically, like, I mean, everyone's retired these days. Like, so what else are they going to do? They just go to fucking jujitsu and then go home, you know?
Yeah.
But
Got the Diaz brothers an hour and a half from here.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm cut out for that one. I don't think that I can hang with those fucking guys.
No.
Like just be just fucking vaping their they're like fucking CBD weed pens and then fucking rolling for 2 hours. I'd be like, I'll die. I will die doing this. But if you go back to Florida, dime a dozen, man. There's a gym in every city. Probably it's fucking huge.
Yeah, just go back to the jungle.
Good. You'd be like, hey guys, remember me? You he promoted me and then I left. Which is like every jujitsu person ever. Like, hell yeah, I got another stripe. I'll see y'all in 2 years.
Yeah.
I tell people when they ask, they're like, "Oh, how long did you train jujitsu for?" I'm like, "Well, I still retained it and I still think about it. So let's say 10 years."
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
same thing.
I could still choke the fuck out of you if I needed to.
Like, what belt are you? Technically, should be this belt by now. So I'll just say that.
If I had just, you know, well, I don't really do gi anymore, you know what I mean? So but if I had to put an equivalent on it, man, I'd probably be like a brown belt right now. All right. So
With at least 3 stripes.
yeah, I would this close, man, I promise. I mean, that was no gi training, man. Like, what belt are you? Well, I only do no gi, but I've been training for X amount of years. And you're like, okay, so you're almost a purple. Like you should be a purple belt. And then you roll with them, you're like, you're not a purple belt. Not even fucking close. And you're like, I just fucking armbarred you, homeboy. I don't think you're a purple belt. Yeah, it'd be great, man. Going back to jujitsu. And it's also weird because I don't actively think about COVID. I've had it a few times. I've been fine. Like, but there's just something mentally that still doesn't feel right about like, oh, and especially with like fucking monkeypox. Like, dude, the last thing that I want to do on the planet right now is be skin to skin contact with like 35 people over the course of a couple hours. Like, there's not enough like antibacterial soap in the world for me to want to fucking get monkeypox.
Cover yourself in hand sanitizer.
You just
slip through everybody's shit.
You're like, he's so sweaty. You're like, no, it's like in my eyes. It's fucking burning. I would just show up with like a rash guard head to toe, but also then like a sealed mask and like a sealed like socks and gloves, dude. I just look like the fucking gimp. Like like I'm rolling, just my eyes are open, and I just have a zipper mouth, and I'm like, I'm tapping, and then you zip it back closed. Like you like unzip, like, all right, man, let's roll. Zip. Then you go back to you just fucking nah. I'm not trying to get COVID or monkeypox right now. So
Man,
we'll see.
I've avoided it this whole time. I haven't got it.
Well, I mean, you guys are probably your proximity to people that can't afford to get sick is really high. So I feel like you've had the benefit of like, and also the military, like the government has regulations that they have to follow, whether they want to follow them or not, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so how often do you leave though? Do you feel like you go off, like, do you leave often enough to feel like that's even a threat? Or you just like, fuck it, I'm not worried about it?
Not worried about it at this point. I've been to Universal and Disney and shit. Super crowded. Never got it. I don't know.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I was fully expecting to get it the first time I went to like Disney afterwards, but surprisingly never did.
I mean, open air is like, even though it's crowded and is really crowded, that's still dangerous, like within the context of getting sick. But open air is a game changer, dude. Like, if you had that many people, like, I just started going to concerts again, and I'm still like, all right, if somebody sneezes, I'm gonna slap the shit out of them. Like, or I'm like walking around with like my hand over my drink. I'm like, please don't fucking touch my cup. Like, please don't touch me.
Yeah,
Uh,
haven't been at any concerts yet. I did see the
oh,
last podcast on the left live. That was the closest I got.
was it good? I stopped listening to him a while ago, but I liked it.
Yeah, pretty good.
They just did a they just did a collab with a shirt designer. Uh, the dude's name is like, his company name is called Meth Syndicate, and they just did a collab shirt like this last week. That's so the guy that makes the t-shirts has a line of shirts where he's like, I sucked, the Mothman's dick at
Uh,
whatever, and they made a I sucked the devil's red dick in Salem, Massachusetts, and it was like a last podcast on the left collab. And uh I have his other shirts, but it was like, I can't imagine a time or place that I can wear a shirt like and not get fucking in Texas, where I'm talking about sucking the devil's dick and not having to have a conversation about it. So I passed on that one. But oh man, we went to. I just thought about, we went to mewithout's farewell tour, but also 68, which is basically Josh from the Chariot.
yeah,
It was like their show together, and in on that first album on Bless the Martyr, whatever, when they do that final verse in Memphis, it's Josh doing it, and it's also Aaron from Me Without You doing the like spoken word part behind it during the breakdown. And they ended the show with like an extended version of that, because it's like Me Without You's done. They're like not coming back. They're not touring anymore. And it was like, it was the first concert I'd been to in like a minute for a long time, and it literally felt like, dude, it felt like I was 16 again. It was so weird. Like, it was like hearing Norma Jean play live, even though it wasn't Norma Jean, and just hearing that song again live. It was like, holy shit! Like,
it's awesome.
we were seeing that song together live 10 years ago, and I'm still, that song still fucking kicks around.
That album's 20 years old this month.
I know. I don't love Norma Jean that much anymore, but I still go back to it. It's that the album fucking ruled. It was just too good.
Yeah,
Um, I actually don't listen to much of that stuff anymore, but no, I'll still like pop in Bless the Martyr, and just I'll make people listen to it in the car, and I'm like, you don't even fucking know. You weren't there. You can't appreciate what it was like to be 17 and fucking driving to Hartford, Connecticut to see this shit live, or be 20 and fucking drive to Hartford, Connecticut and see this live, or be 22 and drive to Hartford to see this live, you know. Like, you don't even know what it was like to fucking drive 4 hours for a 3 hour show.
you're like,
Like,
what's Warped Tour?
yeah, like you can't like people that were because like I work for a company that also has like I can't believe I'm gonna say younger people because we're in our 30s, but like people that are like 20, fresh out of college, 21, and they're like, I'm gonna go see Bad Bunny, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go see that. I'm like, but I back in my day, I used to drive, 6.5 hours to see a fucking hardcore show in somebody's basement, and the show sucked. you know, I remember I used to go to a show in the back of a fucking carpet store. Like,
Yeah, they still got those going on. Or
is
I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say, is rumors still rumors, and is rumors still around?
No, JR's got a new band.
Hmm.
Tactiles.
That's right. I actually did know that, but
And they
I,
fucking kicked Pat Merrill out of it again.
well, at least they're consistent, right?
Yeah,
Man.
carpet stores. You got the pizza place / skate park.
Yeah.
That
I go to
place.
hardcore shows now and I'm like the venues are nice. I'm like, this is fucked up. This is you can't appreciate what it was like, you know. But you see like the other 35-year-old or whatever, and you're like, you know, you know, you know. It's just too weird. But that's what we'll talk about next week. We'll talk about fun stories, vacation stories. We'll talk about being old men who who've been seeing the same bands for the last 15 years. And you know, I'll end this on the worst thing to happen during the pandemic. RIP every time I die. So
Yeah.
some fucking weird shit, man.
Yeah. Right after probably one of their best albums.
Yeah. Listen to it, and then happened to be on Twitter one day, and I was like, looks like Keith's having a meltdown. That's not good. And then Jordan was like, oh, looks like Keith's having a meltdown. Then everyone else was like, I guess we're done here. I was like, cool. Can't wait to not see this album ever get toured.
Yep.
It fucking sucks, man. But that's music. I would know. I've had my share of meltdowns. Fucking yelling in front of Pat's house, throwing my phone like 200 yards, like fuck you guys, and just throwing my phone. Oh man. I was trying to explain to somebody the other day about how like because like a lot of bands in New England are still touring, and it was like you guys can't appreciate going to play in a fucking church, and we were band number 1 and they were band 19 and we got to say that we played for them, you know. Like you can't appreciate playing at the fucking Dover Brick House to 3 people. Like you guys don't know what it was like. And then I just started thinking about like somebody was like, oh, is your band on Spotify? I was like, my band's not on Spotify. I was like, I wasn't around for that. I was like, but they are on Spotify.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I don't barely know anybody in this band, basically. Like I just knew Pat and I knew Rico. I was like, and Chris, I'm like occasionally, I was like, yeah, I know him. But I was like, I don't know the rest of these guys.
Yeah.
Man. I've been thinking about starting a band again now that I'm old enough that I'm like, I think I could play old man hardcore, like, and it not be ironic. Like all the bands that are now in their 60s and they're still touring, I'm like, I mean, I'm about to approach my mid 30s. I could do that too. Like,
Yeah.
I'd love to bring a like a weird, I don't know, like a weird, like starting to write hardcore music again in my 30s.
Yeah. I bought an electric kit like 6 months ago, maybe. Played it for maybe a month. I was like, this sucks.
When we
Not,
moved, I sold everything, got rid of all my equipment. I was like,
yeah. Yeah, not like playing sucks, but like electric kit, nobody to play
yeah.
with. I tried to get Pat to write some shit. It's like I have this stuff I already wrote like a month ago. I'm like, nah.
You're like, all right, thank you though. Is he still playing? Is he still in a band? Is he still touring? I see it, but I don't like think about it too much.
No, not lately. He's done solo stuff, which I edit all of his videos that he puts out, but that's been months, maybe a year. I think he got a
I
girlfriend
mean,
and stopped.
wow. Yeah, and we all know how that goes.
Yeah.
But if anyone from that original lineup was ever going to make it, it was always going to be Pat. So that doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't bode well for everyone else trying to come back and make music again. Like I was like, I can still fucking play. I can play the shit out of a bass. Don't even test me. I bought a new guitar, played it for a couple months. I was like, yeah, I still fucking suck. And I just sold it. I was like,
That's how I felt with the electric kit.
you're like, oh man, it's gonna be so good to play again. And you start playing, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm good here.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, but I still need this. I still need this. It's like, I don't want to spend that money.
Yeah. Maybe if I had the better pads, the ones that aren't, the ones that are like the better the better kit pads, it'll be more fun. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about
I
this.
need the ultimate double bass pedal.
I need a bigger controller so I can put more sounds in it, man. That's what I need. And then you get it and you're like, I don't want to play anymore. I used to just sit and I'd record a rhythm track on my guitar and then I would just play it and I'd loop it back and I would just try and write lead riffs over it, which I've never been good at. I'm like, I fucking hate this. I'm like trying to find people. I'm like, if I send you like a pretty cool rhythm thing that I've written, like, can you write over it? And they hear it and they're like, nah, that's not for me, man. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know that it's not technical. I'm not fucking periphery. I'm sorry. Like, leave me alone. But all right. I'm gonna wrap it up. I got axe throwing to go to.
All
I
right.
gotta go get drunk, man. We'll yeah, we'll circle back. I'm gonna watch House of the Dragon this week. I'm gonna watch some weird timeline movies, time travel movies, and we'll just make it. We'll see what happens with a couple of episodes this year.
Yeah.
But I think we used to wrap it up with okay, bye. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Later, man.
See ya.